Hello, everyone, and welcome to what is not exactly a snap take. This is a special message from Roy and I about the 2024 presidential American election. If you're not American, this message might not be for you, but we felt like it was important with a platform to take a stand. How you doing this evening, Roy?
I'm doing well, Aaron. It is interesting to be on one of the SnapTake episodes, but I'm really excited to be here right now, and it's really important that we use our platform to discuss for Americans what is a very consequential election.
So, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is a video that is ultimately asking you to not vote for Donald Trump. I can say this numerous ways, I can give 1,000 reasons, but instead, I'm just going to give two very quick and very personal ones. First, the way that Donald Trump treats and talks about undocumented immigrants is an absolute nightmare. Many people may not know this, but I've got multiple family members who are or were at times undocumented, largely through no fault of their own. People who came legally and had things like lawyers rip them off. People who tried to get asylum when they were running from literal murder, where they had no other choice in their life but to come here. These are good people, genuine people that suffer and came here for help. You can turn them away if you want, but I want to directly state that if you're the type of person that believes that you need to make a bunch of good people suffer because there are just a few bad people, I cannot see eye to eye with you ethically or morally. I work in a largely immigrant town. Whatever you've heard on the news, whatever nonsense you're hearing from various political sources, I can tell you firsthand that this is an extremely small minority, while the majority of these people are trying to make an honest living, paying taxes for which they can never get money back, working hard to have a better life. And treating them like animals, treating them as subhuman, treating these people as if they were less than is completely horrific, right?
Wow, that's very powerful, Aaron. So for me, I think I wanted to address an issue that I've heard a lot from people, which is this sort of discussion that this is, I said this was a very consequential consequential election, and people are getting saying, well, every election of my life has been the most consequential election. If you've been living in the 21st century, I mean, the truth is, all of our elections in the 21st century have been very consequential. If you sort of see 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020, and now 2024. But the thing about this is every election is consequential, but it's also just the beginning, right? It's very important that people cast their vote here against Donald Trump. But that is the beginning of the story, not the end of the story. I hope our loyal listeners and loyal viewers are living their best lives, being kind to their community, being good to their neighbors, welcoming to newcomers, as Aaron just said, and just all around sort of living their truth and being kind to the people around them. And what's going to allow them to keep doing that is electing Kamala Harris. Because whether or not you are in love with the status quo of the United States right now or not, either way, choosing Donald Trump is absolutely a threat to a whole variety of communities. It will disrupt the status quo, but not for the better. Whether that, as Glazer said, is for undocumented folks, but also trans folks, queer folks, people who need reproductive health care. These are all really critical issues on this ballot in just a few short hours from when we record this. And I think it's really important that people keep that in mind as they enter the voting booth today when you're watching this, but tomorrow when we're recording it.
I think I'm probably just going to put this up right after we're done. I want people to wake up and have this in their feeds all over the country. So there's another point I'd like to make. Not an expert on the economy. I'm not going to pretend to be. I have some fairly strong theories, some fairly strong opinions, but as a high school English teacher, I don't have expertise. What I do have expertise on as both a union vice president and a high school teacher is the education system. And Donald Trump has on multiple times and multiple occasions said that he is planning on defunding the Department of Education. You might not know what that means, but every teacher in America knows what that means. That means we're going to lose a generation
Mm-hmm.
of children. That means that schools will be forced to completely scramble for funding for the foreseeable future. It would be a cataclysmic event for the families of America, for the schools of America. It will eventually be recovered. Eventually, the states can and must recover where that to happen, but there will be generations, not a cohort, not one group of kids. There will be a generation of children, K to 12, if not more, that is just lost to this. It will utterly gut and destroy the education system in a way that I don't think that most non-teachers can actually understand what happens when schools have no funding. It would be an utter nightmare. And this isn't something he's promised once. This is something that he has promised outright on Fox and Friends. This is something that he said in multiple speeches. It is a cataclysmic event for the children and teachers of America that must be prevented. Wherever else you stand, if you've ever had a teacher you love and respect and care for, hell, if one of us is that teacher that you love and respect and care for, then it is immensely important that you protect our schools. As much as our school system is flawed, without funding, there is nothing. There is no fair, equal, equitable education for anyone. It will collapse. This is not a joke or a game. Without our education system, this country is in an insane amount of trouble. I hope you consider that very strongly.
Sort of build on what Aaron said. As a union person, I am also a union person. I am a union organizer. And I just want to say this: if you care about working people and their ability to exercise their rights, you cannot vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a scab. Uh, the Biden administration, whatever you think of it, the Biden Harris administration, whatever you think of it, has been good for unions and union organization. I have seen that across in my own life, and you've seen it in this country, the surge of unionization at Starbucks, at Amazon, at Blizzard Entertainment, and Activision, and Bethesda, and all of these and Card Kingdom. All of these union victories have been done in the context of a very favorable National Labor Review Board. Donald Trump is touring the country with Elon Musk, who is currently sponsoring a lawsuit that seeks to destroy the National Labor Review Board and the ability of workers everywhere in the United States to organize. Like Glazer said, I'm not an expert in the economy, but I am a trained historian. And if you want to know what union organizing was like before the National Labor Review Board, it was bad. It was awful. It was the time of Calvin Coolidge, and we don't want to return to that.
One final thought that's hopefully more positive. A lot of our friends will need serious help. It's a very stressful time. Please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to ask models as soon as we're done with this to create a spot on our Discord, the Snap Digitally Discord, linked in the description to this video, for just like mental health and venting for tomorrow, a place to catch your breath. If you are feeling under the weather, if you don't have access to adequate mental health services, you will find a supportive group of people there, including myself, there to talk to you as much as possible as we try and get through this together. What is going to be an immensely stressful time, as a lot of people's rights as human beings are up for debate in ways that they never should be. So please make sure that you seek out. Look, if you have family, friends, counseling that you can get for this, please make sure you take care of yourself. Disconnect, unplug, and make sure you're healthy. But if you need some online help, some online support, we will be there for you. And I have one final thought, and then I think we're going to wrap this video up, unless Roy has anything else he'd like to add. And my final thought is for the commenters on this video. One, this video isn't monetized. I'm not putting any money into this. This is a video that I did because I think when you have a platform, it's important to use your voice for things you believe in. However, it's worth noting that this is our platform, not yours. You have no right to spew hate in the comments to it. If you would like to build your own platform where you can say things that you want to within the terms of service of the platform you choose, that is your decision and your right. This place is not for you. Fair?
And just completely fair, Aaron. I just want to second something that's really important. is that yes, we have this platform. Glazer has put a huge amount of work into building it, and the reason why I'm on here today is, again, if you have a voice when we're at critical times like this, you really, really do need to use it. And so many communities that I care about in my life, people I love, people I care about, from my own wife and partner to the trans and queer people in my life to the undocumented people in my life to other people, to working people in my life, they are all going to be negatively impacted like this. And I could not stand back and not use this YouTube channel, which I am grateful that Aaron is including me in this, to not put this out there. It's really important that you go out and vote, and you go out and vote against Donald Trump tomorrow, today, whenever you're not leaning, excuse me, watching this video. And I love and respect folks who are going to express a different opinion, but as Glazer said, this is not your space, not your platform. It is ours, and we're using it to express our political views and to show the communities that we care about that this is a space for them.
Thank you so much for watching. I end this video as I always do. Peace and love, everybody.